Sheboygan County District Attorney Joel Urmanski filed a petition to bypass the appeals court and allow the state Supreme Court to rule on the Dane County abortion care ruling. As we previously reported, a judge ruled back in July that Wisconsin's 1849 law on abortion does not apply to consensual abortion care. The judge specified the law prohibits non-consensual attempts to kill an unborn child. Planned Parenthood locations in Door County resumed operations in September in Sheboygan County following the ruling. The chief strategy officer of Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin issuing a statement saying the filing in part, quote, December Circuit Court ruling was an important step forward in our fight to restore, protect, and expand access to abortion in Wisconsin. Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin vehemently opposes D.A. Urmanski's view that the force of Wisconsin Statute 940.04 against abortion providers was immediately restored upon a returning of Roe v. Wade, end quote.